Ethan never expected that a simple stop at a rest station on the outer rim would change his life forever. He was a wandering salvager, always moving from one planet to another, barely noticing the stars around him. But when he entered the rundown spaceport on Zalira 7, he had no idea that a single gesture of kindness would awaken something ancient and extraordinary. He was tired, dusty, and covered in sweat from the long journey. The rest station looked abandoned, but a faint light glimmered from a small door labeled Shower and Sanitation. Ethan didn't think twice. He reached for his credits and pushed the door open. Inside, the air was thick with a strange, musky scent that made him pause. Then he saw her. She wasn't human. Her skin shimmered with a pale violet hue, and her eyes, large, almost liquid, watched him carefully from the shadows. She was beautiful in a way Ethan had never seen before, her elegance almost alien in its subtlety. She spoke softly, in a voice that made the hairs on his neck stand up. "The shower, you must pay the fee." Without thinking, Ethan waved his credits. "Keep it. I got this." The moment the credits touched her clawed fingers, a spark seemed to pass through her. Her eyes softened, and a faint, almost imperceptible smile crossed her lips. That simple act of generosity had done something he could not understand, something far beyond polite etiquette. Ethan shrugged and went into the shower. Steam rose, mixing with the strange scent lingering in the small room. When he came out, she was waiting outside, standing taller now, her posture regal yet strangely vulnerable. I owe you something," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "Something very old. Very important." Ethan raised an eyebrow. "You're welcome, I guess. What is it?" She hesitated, then stepped closer. "You've awakened a desire that has slept for centuries. I am the last of my kind, and I have waited for one who could help me ensure our lineage survives." Ethan blinked. "Lineage?" Her eyes filled with urgency. "An heir. Someone to carry our legacy. You have shown kindness when no one else would. That is the sign. You are the chosen one." He laughed nervously. "Chosen one? Lady, I barely know you. I don't even know what your kind eats for breakfast." But the alien, her name was Lyra, did not laugh. She simply looked at him with eyes full of expectation, hope, and something dangerous. Ethan felt a shiver run down his spine. Something was stirring in her, a force he couldn't see but could feel. Over the next hours, she explained the history of her species, the Zalirians. Once, they were a proud race, spreading across galaxies, but a plague wiped out nearly all of them. Only a handful remained, scattered and hiding, and she was the last fertile one. Her kind survived through generations, waiting for the right individual, one who was brave, kind, and willing to take part in their ancient ritual of lineage. "And you think I can just have a child with you?" Ethan asked, trying to process everything. "I'm human. We're very different." Lyra nodded, her eyes glinting with determination. "Difference doesn't matter. The ritual, the bond, it will choose the one worthy. You have already started it. The spark awakened when you paid my fee. That simple kindness, it is the test." Ethan felt dizzy. He had never imagined that buying someone a shower could have cosmic consequences. "So, what happens now?" "Now," Lyra said, "we prepare. But it is dangerous. My enemies, those who wish to end our line completely, they watch. They will try to stop this." Ethan frowned. "Enemies? Seriously? All this over a shower?" Lyra's gaze hardened. "Not just a shower. That small act showed compassion, a rare trait in this galaxy. Compassion is the seed of life. You have chosen to plant it." Over the next few days, Ethan found himself drawn into a whirlwind of alien customs, secret rituals, and political intrigue. He met Lyra's council, a group of surviving elders who were both intimidating and wise. They tested him, questioned him, and even challenged his courage. But every time, Ethan's simple human decency shone through. Then, the attacks began. Shadowy figures infiltrated the rest station, moving with terrifying precision. Ethan and Lyra had to flee across the city, navigating crumbling alleys and forbidden tunnels. At one point, Ethan held a plasma blade in his hands, realizing he had no idea how he had learned to wield it, but instinct took over. Lyra was by his side, her own abilities unlike anything he had ever seen. Together, they fought, dodged, and escaped. During a brief moment of safety, Lyra turned to him. "You are stronger than I imagined," she said softly. "Stronger than anyone could be. You may truly be the one." Ethan shook his head, laughing nervously. "I'm just trying not to get killed." "No," Lyra said firmly. "You are trying to protect life. That is what matters. That is what will ensure our heir survives. And I want you to trust me." Trust. Ethan thought of his entire life, traveling alone, trusting almost no one. Yet here he was, standing in an alien city on a dying world, feeling a connection he could not explain. He nodded. "I trust you, Lyra." The final test came sooner than he expected. In the heart of the city, in a temple abandoned for centuries, Ethan was asked to place his hand upon an ancient crystal. Energy surged through him, and visions of countless generations of Lyra's people flooded his mind. He felt their hopes, their fears, their longing for continuation. And he understood this wasn't about him. It was about life itself. Lyra joined him, placing her hand over his. The energy enveloped them both, binding them in a way that transcended biology or species. Ethan felt an overwhelming warmth, a deep connection, and suddenly, he knew he had changed. He had become part of something bigger than himself. When the energy dissipated, Lyra smiled, radiant and relieved. "It is done. The bond is sealed. The heir will come. And you have played a part in saving my people." Ethan exhaled, exhausted but exhilarated. "All because I paid your shower fee?" Lyra laughed, a sound like music across the stars. "Yes. One small act of kindness, and you changed the course of history." From that day on, Ethan was no longer just a wandering salvager. He became the guardian of a secret legacy, a witness to the rebirth of an entire species. And he learned that sometimes, even the smallest gestures, an act as simple as paying a shower fee, could awaken desires, destinies, and powers that reached across the stars. As the sun of Zalira 7 set behind the jagged mountains, Ethan and Lyra stood together, the weight of centuries on their shoulders. Somewhere, deep in the universe, a new life was beginning, a life born from kindness, courage, and a spark that neither of them could have imagined. And all of it started with a simple gesture, a human small, unassuming act of generosity.